fear no beat up keeps going on, and the melody of my escape, vibration of my soul, it sends me to the peak, without no regret. You got no love, without no love, you got no regret, without no regret, you got no...
Hello guys, we're back for another Premier League game week review. Today I'm with Thomas again. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Great to hear that you're well as well. We've just had a great Man United win, so we can be finally positive for once.
Yeah.
But we're going to be discussing the whole Premier League game week with all the results, and I tell you, there's been some fantastic games this week. With which we'll start off with Man City versus Tottenham. Now, I think there's a lot to discuss here because Harry Kane, I've been mentioning it a lot over the past few weeks because I've been speaking to someone who's been speaking to me a lot about the World Cup, and I know you won't like to speak about England in the World Cup upcoming because we are going to do well.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
So, Harry Kane, do you think he is what people would say finished, or do you think he's back in form and going to start banging the goals in?
Yeah. To be honest, in Harry Kane's situation, I've always really liked Harry Kane. He's in my opinion, he's still a world-class striker, and I don't think one season defines him as a player. I don't think he's finished per se, but he hasn't been great this year, and I don't know if the Manchester City rumours are upset maybe, and he wants to leave still. But yeah, he was unbelievable against Man City. The only thing I'd say about Harry Kane is I don't know whether he would still go to Man City or Pep would still want him, but I think ideally for Harry Kane's point of view, if Pochettino was the next Manchester United manager, he would bring him in. And but I'd be personally against Harry Kane coming to United because I just don't think he's. It's not that he's finished. He's just I don't think he's the type of striker that a top 4 team would use because I don't particularly rate him when it comes to pace. I think he's quite slow. He's 28 or 9 now. I know he's England captain, so as we all know, British players are overpriced. So I don't think he'd be worth the investment of a Man City or United, but he is still a top quality striker all day, every day. You know?
He definitely is. I will personally take him at United. I've mentioned this over the past few weeks. I think I'm going to say it, Harry Kane. I just want to apologise, by the way, guys. The lighting, I've got the lighting terrible today. I've had to open my window because I'm really warm. I'm not generally feeling quite well. So the lighting is terrible. During the stream, I am going to try and sort that out. You may see me zone in and out, but I just want to apologise for the lighting. Right, back to Harry Kane. I'm going to say it. I think he's going to win us the World Cup in December. I think he's going to win us the World Cup. I don't think he'll get Tottenham the top 4. I think we'll get top 4, but I think he's going to win us the World Cup. Which you may not like to hear. Obviously, you're Irish, so you definitely won't like to hear that. But do you think he'll lead Tottenham to top 4?
No, I don't think he will. I think when it comes to top 4, and I don't know if we'll delve into that later in the show, but I think Manchester United just have far more quality than the rest of the competition to get top 4. I think Spurs are too inconsistent. We've seen against I think it was Brighton or Southampton. No, Southampton. They were abysmal. I think Emerson caused all 3 goals, the right back, and he got dropped. But I think Antonio Conte, I've mentioned in the last time I was on in December, Antonio Conte is one of the best managers in the world still. But I don't think he has the tools to get top 4 this season. But they'll definitely be in the contention next year. But I think Harry Kane will obviously be crucial to any chance to get top 4.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Kulusevski as well. He looked really good.
Yeah.
I've been a huge doubter of Kulusevski, but I've not said it on videos or social media or anything. I know he's always been touted as this like really good youngster, looking really sort of promising. However, when he went to Juventus, and I know Juventus aren't particularly doing great over the past few years, but when he went to Juventus, he didn't do too well, and now he's gone to Spurs on loan, and I didn't think he would do too well, but he just got a goal and an amazing like clutch assist as well in that game against City for a big win for Spurs. So do you think he'll push on from there and have a great loan spell?
I think he's funny, Kulusevski. His style of player is really strange. He reminds me of Chong in the way he's really tall, but he's technically brilliant. Kulusevski. I think he'll work in the Premier League because he's physical enough. Sorry, I don't know if he'll be long term as a winger for Spurs, but because I think they'll actually trigger that £40 million buy clause with him. I think they will trigger that because it's 18-month loan and he'll get to show like what he's about. And but I think he will be a good player for Spurs in the future. But I don't see him on the wing. I think maybe more centrally for Kulusevski.
Yeah, definitely. We'll just get into a few comments and then I'll ask you about Man City because it's a very complicated one for us United fans. This Leeds are scum. They are scum. I don't know whether I can say that on YouTube.
No, they are.
But I don't know whether there's a possibility of getting banned for saying that word on YouTube. KG14 says, "Hey Keane, hope you're well, KG." Imani says, "Like and subscribe." Thank you for saying that. Hello lads. Robbie says, "Hello Robbie, I hope you're well." Benzema is better than Kane. I like both. I prefer Kane though. What's your thoughts on that?
Ben's better, yeah, because Benzema has been doing it for a longer period of time, and he's won 10 times the amount of trophies at least than Harry Kane. So and he's been more crucial to a better side. So I'd say Benzema.
Yeah. There's absolutely no doubt that he's been incredible and won so much more than Harry Kane. Big up, bro. Thank you, Keane. Looking like a video game. I hope that's better now. It's better on my screen. I hope it's better for everyone else as well.
Yeah, it's better.
The lighting was absolutely terrible. I don't know what happened to my light, but I had to turn sort of the brightness up on it. Spurs have that one Amazon performance in them, but they aren't consistent. Now that is what I agree with. Amazing. Not the quickest too. I'm back. What have I missed? We were just discussing Tottenham Hotspur, Harry Kane, and Dejan Kulusevski, and we'll be discussing Man City in a minute. Nascom should be fine. It's better. Thank you. Right, Man City. This was a very difficult one for us United fans. To quote Gary Neville, it's like having a choice of two blokes to nick your wife with City and Liverpool either winning the title. It is. It really is. Now, do you think City will end up winning the title?
Yeah, I think they will. That one, they I don't know if they bottled Spurs because I think Spurs deserve to win that, and they were leading for the majority of the game. But I think City, that was a one-off, like once a year, once 2 years performance from them. I think Manchester City they're just too good. Like they have options all over the pitch, top quality, world class players everywhere. Liverpool are probably closest rival to them, and even they almost messed up against Norwich on Saturday. So, but I still have I don't have to have faith for Man City to win it because I don't like them, but I think they're guaranteed to win at this stage. It'll be either them or Liverpool, of course, but I'll definitely bet on Man City.
I'm not betting on City yet. I'm gonna say it. And
okay.
If I don't laugh, I'll just cry my eyes out thinking about Liverpool winning it. I got a little bit depressed about that on Saturday. It put me in a really bad mood. But honestly, I think you don't really see City lose games. Obviously, bar this game, it was a one-off, like you say. But also Liverpool, you don't see Liverpool lose games very often either. So, and we've still got both of them to play. Now, we've got to hope to beat both of them because we don't want Liverpool equaling our 20th title. We don't want City to win it, but we really don't want Liverpool equaling our 20th title. So, it's like having a choice of two blokes to nick your wife. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say who would prefer to win it. You can infer what you want from what I've just said, but I'm not saying who I'd prefer to win it because I wouldn't prefer anyone to win it. Yeah. KG says, I picked Benzema, screw Kane. I like Kane personally. Crazy thing is, we actually needed City to win. It would have been ideal if City won. 1 City, first City, 2 Binderpers, 3 Chelsea, 4th. I'm going to say 3rd United. I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I've been saying it. I've been absolutely roasted by Chelsea fans on Twitter. But I'm confident we're going to get 3rd. I don't know why. And I think Chelsea will get 4th. But if we're going off of your sort of tally, your sort of like prediction, Keno, I would say United to finish 4th. What would you say, Thomas?
Oh yeah, definitely. United will finish fourth. I think we are less consistent than the rest of the competition. Like I think West Ham will eventually fall. They're not good enough, and they're playing European football as well. Still, Thursday night football, Thursday Sunday, as we both know, is not. It's not great.
It's not ideal at all.
It's not ideal at all either. I think West Ham might focus more on the Europa League anyway. In the case they finish seventh or something, I just do not think they'll finish fourth. Wolves aren't good enough, I don't think. Like we seen this weekend with Wolves, they were just. I thought they were lucky to win. I thought their 2 goals were brilliant. I will not take that away from individual brilliance, but I don't think they have enough to finish fourth. Arsenal, I think, are our biggest competitors to top 4. The only thing is, one injury can kill them. Well, you can argue the same for us, but it's just think when it comes to Spurs, they're not getting it. They finish 5th or 6th. I think if you us or Arsenal finishing 4th, I like your ambition to finish 3rd and their positivity. I just don't think. I think Chelsea are just too good to drop out of 3rd. To be honest,
I'm not sure. I think they struggle to score. I know they just won, obviously. They just
no, you're right, yeah.
But they do struggle to score. They just won 1-0 against Palace, and I know Palace isn't the easiest game by any stretch, especially this season. But they struggle to score, and I think that will be the case remaining throughout this season, and has been for most of the season, except the first few months. Manchester United are only 4 points behind Chelsea, and we've still got Chelsea to play. We've still got Chelsea.
True,
I think it's very possible. I don't think there is guaranteed to get 3rd, as a lot of people think. Champions League winner. I've been saying United since the moment Ronaldo scored that goal against Villarreal and took his top off. Who are you going to predict?
I tell you something. I think I'll throw the biggest party if we win the Champions League. If we even get to the final, to be honest, Kane. But I would love to win the Champions League. It would be absolutely brilliant. We haven't done it since 2008. I was 5 the last time we won it. And you're only like 6, were you? That's such a long time. Yeah, such a long time. And it really annoys me when Chelsea won it so quickly. They won it in 2012, I think. Yeah, the Drogba header. And they won it literally last year, of course. If they equal they win it again and equal with us. And our Champions League victories have been such ingrained in history because of how fantastic they were. I think the Champions League is just it's romance for Man United. I think we're destined to win it at some stage, but I don't know if it's this season. I don't think we have the holding midfielder to go against the top teams in the latter stages of the Champions League, because I think we'll beat Atletico Madrid tomorrow, but I just don't think we'll advance past the quarters.
I know this pairing has been a pairing of absolute nightmare for most of our fans. But in most of the Champions League latter stages, would you start McTominay and Fred as a pairing? Because I would.
Yeah, I would. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think you can let off the creativity of Pogba in midfield to stick him on the wing or on the bench, to come off the bench. I think you read somewhere last season that McFred had the best win percentage across all our midfield duos. And that's because we played against Chelsea twice, Arsenal, all the top 6 teams twice, and we got at least a draw from all of them. We never lost. I think we lost to Liverpool 4-2 at the end of the season. But like we done very well last season with them 2 midfield. So I think you're right. I think if we go against like a Bayern or a PSG, I think he will play them 2 together because Pogba, as much as I love him, I don't think he's disciplined enough to play in midfield 2 against a top team when you don't have proper defence beside him.
And I'm starting to love Pogba again myself, and I'm not sure whether I want to love Pogba again myself, because if he leaves in a few months, I'm going to be gutted. But I would start. There's also a shout that I will possibly. This is just a sort of off the moment sort of thought. Maybe start a back 5 if we're against Bayern Munich, for example. And it's not like let's play this sort of very defensive football and sort of defend for our lives, but it just kind of would make sense because of how bad our defense generally seems to be. I don't think it was as bad yesterday as it has been, even with conceding 2 goals. Obviously we've switched off for them 30 seconds and that was it. But yeah, I would argue to sort of play more pragmatic. I'm going to go for United. If you had to name one team, who you going to go with?
To win the Champions League?
Yeah.
I don't think PSG will win it. I don't want them to win it. I don't. I have a feeling Man City are going to win it, and it would kill me when they do. But I really hope just they get stuffed by Bayern or someone in the final. I'd rather everyone win it. But, do you know what? I'm gonna say Ajax because
I think they're outside shouts. I do agree.
They are the dark horses, definitely.
Yeah. I definitely don't think they're to be messed with in sort of saying, they've got no chance of winning it. I think they can definitely win it. And they're up really good. April 9th, Man City versus Liverpool. What a huge... Well, it could shape up to be a very huge game. Obviously, we've got another few months for that yet. But that could shape up to be a very huge game. But we're inconsistent. Arsenal are our biggest threat. I would argue, yes, but I don't think Arsenal are as good as us. I just don't. Do you think United will get top 4? Umar says. Credit to Umar. Umar, GG for making the thumbnail. He's made around 5 or 6 thumbnails for me so far. Massive appreciation to Umar, and I will credit you on the latest post when I finish this stream, Umar. I think United will get top 4. Are you going to say yes as well?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Arsenal, for fuck's sake, what have we come to if Arsenal as our threat? I know. We can only blame the owners. It's the owners, isn't it? It's not. Definitely. It's not anyone else's fault but the owners. Would you take Saka at United? I definitely would. Would you? Yes,
he's brilliant. His goal yesterday was unbelievable. I mean, I got flashbacks to Giggs, obviously bar the pace. Like, just the way he took on as a young lad. He's only 19, 20. He's a young lad. I think Arsenal were done a great bit of business getting him on a long-term contract. But the thing is, I don't think he will leave. Same with Smith Rowe. I really like Smith Rowe as well. They're 2 brilliant youngsters.
So do I.
And they will be very good, very, very important for England in the future and to win European Championships and World Cups and the likes. But I love him at United. I think it's a pipe dream, though, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. It's never going to happen. I would definitely take him, though, 100%.
Yes.
Arsenal playing Wolves Thursday. Massive game for us United fans. I suppose we're going to hope for a draw there, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's the best we can hope for, I guess. Maybe an Arsenal, maybe a Wolves win. I don't know. Saka is Bietek Elanga. That's iconic. I'm going to call him that on every video we mention Saka now. I'm going to call him that. Arsenal Wolves 1-1. I wouldn't mind that result. They have one game in hand, but that game is Arsenal at home or Norwich away. Okay. Hopefully, I don't know. I think we're still quite a bit ahead of Wolves, but I don't think we are of Arsenal. So maybe it would be an ideal Wolves win. I don't know. I think it'll be Liverpool to be honest. They have enough firepower to beat any team. Oh God, I hope not. Yeah, I hope not.
I hate that.
It was horrible in 2019 when my mates were sending me Liverpool pictures and pictures of the team and all that. I would too play Pogba and Bruno. I would too play Pogba and Bruno as 10s and let Sancho give us width. Possibly, yeah. Who deserves to play Wednesday? Maguire or Lindelof? Obviously, Varane is going to play. That's a very difficult question because they were both very good yesterday, I thought. Who would you say?
I'm finished with Maguire. I think I don't want to see him play for us again, but I understand he scored against Leeds. I know you're a big fan of him. I think he's not a Manchester United captain. He's probably the worst one I've seen. And I've seen Antonio Valencia as captain. So there's definitely...
I don't think Valencia was that bad of a captain.
He was probably the worst. That's how good our captains were, I think. He was. I did like him as a captain. I just thought he was the worst compared to others. So, sorry.
Okay, fair enough. No, fair enough. Yeah. I just sort of disagreed with that statement. Fair enough.
Oh, and Ashley Young. Oh, he's let me say Ashley Young.
I liked Young as well. I did like Young. I thought he had some... I used to get annoyed. My uncle used to say this statement a lot. He has some good qualities. And I used to get annoyed at that because he's not good on the pitch. He was good on the pitch for them last few years. But he was a good captain. He did call people out and things like that, I felt. However, I would play Lindelof. I think Maguire is just too prone to the mistake. I do love Maguire. I believe in him to return to his best. But this season, with his confidence. He's only just regaining confidence now, it seems. I think Maguire's too prone to a mistake. Play Lindelof and Varane. That's what I would do. Is that what you would do?
Yeah, so I completely agree with that. I think Lindelof and Varane work really well together. He's so unfortunate, Lindelof, because his house, as we know, got burgled, and he lost his space in the team to Maguire. And I don't think we'll ever see Maguire dropped under Rangnick, because he's just too. He's the captain of the club, whether you like it or not, and he was £80 million. I don't think he's not allowed to be dropped by Rangnick. So I think he will play, but like I remember you saying there earlier about the latter stage Champions League, we play back five against the bigger teams, and I think the only way for Maguire to play well is to be in a back five, covered by his two favourite midfielders in front of him, Tommy and Fred, and then he plays well because he's not vulnerable. He's wrapping bull wrap, cotton wool, because he's safe. He can't be attacked on the counter, you know.
I do agree with that. However, I also think there's an argument to be made that Maguire was good last season for most of last season. Obviously, he came back and he had trouble with what happened in Greece and things like that. But for most of last season, obviously, we played a back four under Solskjaer, and I thought he was good for most of that. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree?
He was, yeah, but that's because Shaw and Wan-Bissaka didn't attack. They held his hand. McTominay and Fred were sitting in front of him, like I said. We were playing a 6-4. We lost the Europa League final because I know Maguire didn't play in that, so I can't put any blame on Maguire. But I remember distinctly the Villarreal game. We played a 6-4 formation. We just had a bank of six. Like it was like a game of American football. Like we need to attack as a team. And I just don't think, like I remember back in the day, like, I'm talking 2012 from what I remember. Vidic and Ferdinand would be our duo in the back, and they'll tell Everett and Gary Neville and whoever was at the back, Wes Brown, John O'Shea, just get forward, because they can handle it on their own. Because Rio had the pace, and Ferdinand and Vidic was obviously incredible as a defender. I just don't.
The fullbacks also don't suit going forward either. I think Shaw does more than all of our fullbacks. I think he was very good last season, in my opinion, especially going forward. He was incredible.
But Delow's very good as well going forward.
Yeah, Delow's good going forward. Delow's definitely better than Wan-Bissaka going forward. Yeah, but he's not on the level of the teams that we're trying to compete with, or at least want to compete with. The likes of, I hate to say it, but the likes of Cancelo, the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, even Robertson to an extent. I do think Robertson's slightly overrated, but he's obviously better than what we've got going forward as fullbacks. But I do agree with you that he was sort of protected, I guess. Play all three, or 3 in 5. Sorry, have I read that wrong? Play all 3 in a 3 or 5. Yeah, I read that wrong there. No, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, in like a 5-back/3 back. Telling me you think I can't.
You told me already.
Wait, who did I say? Because I can't remember now.
Did you not say Lampard or something like that?
Oh no,
no.
I'd never say that. No. I can't remember who it was now. But we were having a discussion in a group chat the other day, me and CR7 fan, about Smith Rowe, and I do think he's one of the better midfielders in the Premier League. I think he's a like massive young star. I think I back him to do sort of anything he wants, sort of thing. In football terms, I really rate him. Hope Wolves win, they'll drop points. I do believe Wolves will drop points, although they haven't that much this season. Playing Lindelof, to be honest. Valencia was better than Young as captain. I did like both, I'll be honest with you. I thought Valencia was an absolute beast of a player for the few seasons under Mourinho. I thought he was amazing. Don't disrespect Anto. I'll always like Young for battering Di Maria in the Champions League.
Yeah, that was, I'll give him that. Yeah.
I remember that. Hello, Dia says, hello, Dia. Thank you for the follow on Twitter, by the way. I think that was you. I think I followed back. I can't remember. I'm like 99% sure I did. Had Valencia on the back of my shirt for a few years. I do like Valencia. He still had McTominay and Fred out in front of him. Foden, that was it. I do actually believe that. Yeah. What is your thoughts on that? I want to get your thoughts on that before we go on to the next game.
Oh, I get destroyed for my opinions on Foden. I just think I don't think Foden is as good as people say.
I agree.
I think it's because he plays for Man City. He can't show his true talent. I remember he played against City, or Liverpool, sorry. He played against Liverpool last season. They won 4-0 or 4-1.
4-1, it was.
Alisson had it was 4-1. Yeah. Alisson had a terrible game.
Yeah.
But Foden showed his talent. Like he destroyed Liverpool players. I know they were struggling with injuries that season, but he was unbelievable. I mean, taking people on, he's technically brilliant. I'm gonna get crucified for this, but he gives me Messi vibes.
Wow.
Like he's brilliant on the ball. He's brilliant on the ball. He will never be as good as Messi, don't get me wrong. But he's so good on the ball. He can take players on, and he's left footed as well, and he's really small. So
I disagree with that. Foden is so overhyped. I do agree with that.
He is, yeah.
We'll move on to the next game though, as we've just spent loads of time going through comments, which I've loved. Southampton 2, Everton 0. Now, it's not looking good for Donny van de Beek, is it? They aren't picking up points that much. I know it's only Lampard's 3rd game or whatever it is, 4th game, but they are in a relegation battle, and it sort of makes me think. I think he could have gone to Newcastle, and it looks more exciting at Newcastle at the moment. And they are sort of playing. I would argue they're playing very well, and it would have been better for him to go to Newcastle. He also could have gone to Crystal Palace. That would have been better for him. But he's chosen to go to Everton, and to me, it's looking like the wrong decision. I hope I'm proven wrong next week even. I don't think I will be personally. What's your thoughts on sort of him choosing the Everton as his loan spell?
Yeah, I would have loved him to go to Palace. I thought it was the right move for him. And we were discussing before on the show about Conor Gallagher how great of a player he is. I know he hasn't been performing the past few weeks, but he's a brilliant player. I imagined him, Gallagher, Donny midfield together in a 4-3, just bossing it. Yeah, it'd be unbelievable. I think he made the wrong decision going to Everton. I know he almost joined them last in the summer transfer window, but Ollie's told him, no, you're going to be important for us, and came to pass he wasn't. I think he needed to go on loan. I think everyone will agree with that. He needed to go on loan. I think, like you said, I would have rather him go to a Newcastle, even though they're fighting relegation. You can argue Everton there as well, but I just think Everton. I think he got a bit overhated yesterday. He didn't play great. He was average at best. But I don't think all the goals were his fault. And the game against Leeds, he was brilliant. He was really good. Yeah, I'm just hoping that it's... Yeah, I didn't personally. I watched the highlights, but he was really good. I just really hope that it's because... you need to remember, he hasn't played consistent football in 2 or 3 years. Because... The Dutch league ended early because of the COVID, and we bought him, and we never consistently played him, ever. So he's been lacking match sharpness since the age of 22, 23. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for now, because he's probably a bit rusty. And he needs a few games to get into the rhythm of the Premier League and the physicality of it. But I think he will come good, and he'll come back to us when we have Ten Hag in charge.
Hope he comes good. I'm not sure. Obviously, under Ten Hag, he's like 99% definitely going to play.
Yeah.
However, under Pochettino... obviously, I've said before I would prefer Ten Hag. However, I wouldn't mind Pochettino. I can tell from your opinion that you prefer Ten Hag. Is that right?
I do, yeah. The thing in the Pochettino, I think people do not want him. The majority of our fan base don't want him, and it's funny because I think he would actually be quite good, even though he would be another puppet for the Glazers. Like he worked at Luke Shaw at Southampton. He loves Luke Shaw, and he plays with fullbacks and their width. I think Rashford's career might peter off if we brought Poch in. And I don't know I know you love Rashford, but I just don't think that will end up going well. And he wanted Donny at Spurs, so it does look all right. But yeah, of course, I love Ten Hag. I prefer him.
Pochettino has wanted Rashford at PSG. There is reports of that, so I hope. I think with Rashford, I think it's very okay for him to have an off-season. I think he's been through an awful lot over the past 2 years, in and out of football. He's been playing with injury for a while. Had his confidence knocked in the Euros by not starting, and then had his confidence knocked by being brought on and then missing a penalty.
Yeah.
Racially abused. He's had to put some energy into, and I'm not saying focus on football because I'm very proud of what Rashford's doing. He's put some energy into sort of making the Tory government make U-turns to help young children and to even help people like me, which I'm very proud of him for. And last season, he got 36 direct goal contributions whilst doing all that and receiving a lot of criticism for it. His performances may not have been up to scratch, but I believe that he will return good. I really don't want to lose belief in Rashford. I'm going to try and fight with him through it all, football-wise, if that makes sense. We'll get into some comments, though, as there's been quite a lot of comments. Foden is B-Tech, Andres Pereira. I'll definitely have that. I hate the City Academy hype. Foden is the only player they have produced in their whole life. It was Foden, and then it was Micah Richards back in the day, weren't it? That's all it is.
Lescott, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Lescott as well, Jolie and Lescott. There is no academy. They don't have no academy, really.
No, we stole all the youth products because we're better.
Yeah. McNeil, I'm so glad we stole him from City.
Yeah, he's so
what a player, man. I cannot wait till he gets minutes. I'm going to hype him up
next season.
Yeah,
I think next season he'll break through.
I hope so. I really do. Keenan and Muff for saying ESR is better. Lampard played a 4-4-2 and Donny and Andre Gomez in the midfield too. Of course, it's going to get destroyed. There's zero defensive structure with Lampard's team. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And Alan was bad, so he got subbed off for Andre Gomez. And then there was zero defensive cover in midfield, which obviously is going to get exposed with Donny going forward. Donny needs someone with him because he goes forward. Declan Rice, Donny van der Beek. I really want to say Declan Rice, Scott McTominay, and Bruno Fernandes if Pogba isn't here. But if it would be ideal Declan Rice, Donny van der Beek, and Bruno Fernandes, wouldn't it?
I think Declan Rice is a very good player, and I think he'd be so good for us. I know you really like McTominay, and I think there is a lot to like about Scott McTominay. We've seen again against Leeds. I know he didn't play the best, but he showed so much heart in that game. And I was there thinking, I know he's a passion merchant, but that can be a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
It is. It really is, because not a lot of players have that nowadays. You know?
Exactly, and we do moan about like some players acting like robots or whatever you'd like to call it. And we moan about them not caring, which obviously there's valid reasons to moan about them not caring. So when a player does care, I feel like we should appreciate that quite a lot, which is obviously fair enough.
Yeah, I get that, but I just don't think if we want to get top 4 every season, McTominay's our man. But if we want to push for titles and win trophies and Champions Leagues, he's simply a squad player at best. I know you really like him. I think if he was 20, 21, I'd be like, yeah, I'm all over him. But he's 25 now. We can't just keep saying he's this young United player and he's going to be a captain in the future when he's not really that. Like Mourinho brought him through as a centre-back.
Captain. If he remained in the team, I do believe he can be a captain. There's reasons for this, and it isn't just throwing it out there. It's there's many people, and I know it's one of the main arguments for McTominay. But there's many people that have said, like in the football world, you've got Jurgen Klopp, Sir Alex Ferguson, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna, Ralph Rangnick, Jose Mourinho, and that's just to name a few that have spoken about McTominay being a future leader and a future captain. I'm not saying give him the captaincy or anything like that. I just think there should be some conversations had, and it should be even thought of as a possibility, especially if Ronaldo isn't here next summer or isn't playing as much as he will be next season, if that makes sense. So I think there should be conversations to be had. Do you agree with that? Or
I think McTominay is a better captain than Maguire. I give him that. He definitely is. He gets in the referee's face. He argues. He's captain material. But then again, I don't think you can be captain of a club of the size of Manchester United and play bad while telling other players that you're playing bad. You need to set an example. Roy Keane done this. He set examples. He was fantastic, and he was outlandish. He was outspoken, which that's as an Irish person, I absolutely adore him. I love him. But I think if you're going to be a captain of the size of the club, like I said, you need to be Ronaldo's level, Bruno Fernandes' level, David De Gea's level, consistently playing well in a bad side. You could say they are a bad side now, and I think McTominay's a better captain than Maguire because one, he's not timid. He loves the club. He gets what it's about. I just don't think Harry Maguire is captain material, and he never will be, and he never was. But McTominay is a better captain than him. Maybe in the future he'd be the captain of a few FA Cup games when he's like 27, because he gets it, and I'd be completely fine with that. I just don't think he should be the club captain right now.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. And we're speaking about Maguire. It's been somewhat what I would call, and what I will call it in the show at 7:00, Red Devils Digest. It's been an unbearable week with news. It's been absolutely mental. From start to finish from last week, it was like there was news coming out every single hour of there's this divided dressing room. These players have had an argument. These players want the captaincy. These players want the captaincy taken. Now, I know that I can see the argument players have to come out and protect their image and things like that. However, I can only take the players and club fighting back at face value. And yesterday and of the Brighton game, there didn't seem to be any sort of divided dressing room to me. All there seemed to be was unity across the whole team, which leads me to believe, which we will speak about in Devil's Digest as well, and I will get Kane and Gavin's opinions on this. It leads me to believe a lot of the reports wasn't particularly true. Do you believe that, or do you believe a lot of the reports?
It's tough on that, because I think, Manchester United have built a fantastic PR team over the past 8 years since Sir Alex left. I don't know what to believe anymore, because I do believe that I know Christian Falk had an argument with Marcus Rashford during the week. And although Falk is a very hit or miss journalist, in my opinion, he does get a lot of stuff right in Germany. I don't know about England now, but he was accusing Harry Maguire and Rashford of that, and I don't think that's right. I don't think any journalist should be spewing out names like that.
No,
that under such harsh allegations. I think Rashford is. I don't think he has a right. I don't think any player, as a matter of fact, has the right to be coming out with claims like that, bar the likes of Messi and Ronaldo, who are the best players ever. But I don't know whether the leaks are true, because I know Fred came out and said it was all lies. So did Maguire, so did Rashford. If someone like Ronaldo or Bruno came out, or David De Gea came out, I completely agree that so there's unity, it's all fake news. But I genuinely do think, because the standards of the club has been lowered so much, that the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo came in the summer and declared some standards, like higher standards, put on these players who were brainwashed in conditions to finish fourth every season. I do understand that Maguire, I would even throw Luke Shaw, even though I love him, under this, to be like, hang on, that's not the way we should be. Well, who was this guy coming in and telling us what to do? But Ronaldo was correct. If this is all true now, this is hypothetical. But I do think there is tension in the dressing room. But I agree, there seems to be unity against Leeds, definitely.
Yeah, I do believe there is tension. There's definitely tension. However, because do you know what? In any dressing room, there should be tension. I'm going to give an example of a real life example. So let's just say, for example, I go to work in an office and my boss does something that I don't agree with, or I'm not performing to the standard that I should be performing to. My boss calls me out for that, which is fair enough. And things like that happen in a workplace every single day. For me, what I don't want is it to be public like it has been this season. I understand there's arguments in the dressing room, and there absolutely should be arguments in the dressing room. However, Manchester United is the biggest fan base in the world, and whether I like that or not, whether you like that or not, whether many of us like that or not, a lot of people will buy into these stories, whether they're true or not, and we don't know whether they're true, like you're saying. And I do believe there is tension, like we're saying. However, I believe a lot of it is exaggerated, and I believe that certain names like Marcus Rashford shouldn't be called out. It should just be this tension in the dressing room, which is bad enough. We've it's bad enough reading it, because it's sort of like, oh my days, these reports are coming out like a storm again, which there's been like 4 storms here in England. It's almost like that. But we'll get into some comments here. Blakey says, hi lads, late to the party. Hope the stream is going well. Hi Blakey, I hope you're well. We'll see you on the stream at 7 p.m. as well. Looking forward to that. Anchor says, hey mate, what's up? Hope you're well, Anchor. Potch said a few years ago he likes Donny, but up the Ten Hag. Yeah, I don't mind either, to be honest. I don't care who plays and who doesn't. If we get Potch or Ten Hag, as long as we're doing well, I'm not bothered. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, definitely fair enough. Charlie McNeil, the Droylston R9. Oh, big claims there, dear. Big claims. No, I do love McNeil. I think he's also got his head screwed on outside of football, from what I've seen as well. Some young players haven't, as we've seen recently, which I think Charlie McNeil definitely has his head screwed on. Definitely shows a lot of respect on the pitch and off the pitch, which I do love that about him. I'd love to have him on the podcast. I swear to God, his ego will be through the roof after finishing this podcast. McTominay is a good passion merchant type player, but my God, my word, he is awful on the ball. I feel like that can be said for a lot of our players being awful on the ball. We give the ball away way too many times. He'd be a better captain than Harry Maguire, to be honest. But McTominay has the mentality, but he doesn't have the ability. Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Many United players don't get into the team. McTominay did. He's rated by everyone. Character is essential because he's Scottish. He's not rated enough. I do actually agree with that, to be honest. I do think he is actually one of the most underrated players in the league. I'm not saying he's world class or anything like that. I just think he's very underrated. I believe he does a good enough job for us at the moment. Obviously, at the moment we're aiming for top 4, whether we like that or not. That is our aim. And that is a good enough job for that. However, like you say, next season we want to challenge for the title, or maybe the season after if we can't get enough players in or whatever. Hopefully we can challenge for the title, and hopefully McTominay can be in that team, part of that squad. But I'm not sure he can be starting 11 for that. McTominay had 22 passes yesterday. That simply isn't good enough for a Manchester United CDM. I thought McTominay was very good yesterday, though. He got stuck in. I'm interested in this, actually. I was going to tweet this exact tweet before. What is your guys' 11 for Atleti? What would your 11 be?
Definitely. I don't think there's any doubt that he has to start. He has to start every game now for the rest of the season. Henderson's he's a troublemaker, apparently. Get rid of him. I don't like him. I don't think he's a good player.
Fair enough.
Harsh words, but I think De Gea is just too good. He's simply too good. So he has to start. When it comes to centre backs, I agree with you about Lindelof and Varane. I think they need to start together. Right back to Low, Shaw. Maybe Telles should play in this game. I don't mind who plays Shaw or Telles. I think Fred or McTominay. I'll go with McTominay. McTominay and Pogba in midfield, and Bruno, Sancho, maybe Rashford. Pace on the counter. I'm not sure, because I know Atletico sit back a lot because I watch a lot of La Liga.
Yeah, they do.
They are not in good form either. They're missing a lot of players. Koke, their captain, is out. Carrasco can't play either leg. Sorry. Suarez and Griezmann won't start either. So I think you can. And of course Ronaldo. I don't know. Yeah, he loves playing against Atletico Madrid.
He definitely should be playing.
Yeah, he has to play.
I am nervous for this game, although I'm going to predict 3-1. I will give my 11 later on in the 7 p.m. stream. I'm not sure whether you're available for that, but I will ask Gavin and Kine for their 11s as well. To be honest, I don't mind the dressing room unrest. Same, because it's just normal. People in general have arguments. Like families have arguments, friends have arguments. It's just normal, isn't it? It's just when there's such a storm of news coming out, and I feel like you say, and I've spoken to my uncle a lot about this, and from what we see on the pitch to how many things we hear on social media and things like that, you don't really know what to believe and who to believe and what's true and what's not. It's almost like the boy that cried wolf with our team, especially with some players. Bilal says, hello, guys. Hello, Bilal. I hope you're well. Team for Atleti should be De Gea, Delol, Varane, Maguire, Lindelof, Telles, Fred, Pogba or McTominay, Bruno, Sancho, Ronaldo, Rashford. So that's 5 at the back. I wouldn't mind that just against Atletico Madrid. And I know people are going to be saying, attacking football, but it's a big game. It is going to be a tough game. I personally don't believe Atletico Madrid are all that, and I've said this so many times, but again, it's still going to be a tough game. Henderson is good. He just made a mistake or two. I think he deserves another chance too. I've had this exact debate this morning with someone I've been speaking to, and she was saying no, he's just not good enough. But I believe he deserves another chance.
Really?
I'm not saying I don't like De Gea. I love De Gea. I do apologise for my camera going out of focus. I love De Gea, but I would give Henderson another chance in pre-season, maybe next season, if we do have a pre-season. I assume we will. I know our pre-season to China got cancelled, was it? Because of COVID.
I think we're going to India or America this year. I'm not sure.
India or America. Okay. I don't have MUTV, but I'll try and do some watch-alongs when that happens. Maybe I'll do United watch-alongs for pre-season, and that'll be it. But De Gea is a very good shot stopper. But besides that, what does he offer? I believe that's true. Let me just try and move out and in to focus his camera. But we're going to Southampton. I just want to ask you about two players. Shay Adams. No, I don't know. I've rated Shay Adams for a while, and he has a very good attitude. He did an interview with Peter Crouch. I'm not sure whether you've seen it. It was during the summer. He did an interview with Peter Crouch. He has a very good attitude. I believe he's a good player. Obviously, I wouldn't want him in United or anything like that. He's just one of them players that I like, almost like Lamptey, but not as much. What is your thoughts on Shay Adams?
I think the only opinion I have on Shay Adams is he made the right decision going joining Scotland instead of England because he'll play. Like, that's all. I don't have any opinions on him really.
Fair enough.
He's made a good career with himself. I think he was at Birmingham a few years ago, Birmingham City, and he moved to Southampton, of course. And he gets your goal. He scored against us, a week or two ago. Like, there you go. He's a perfect Southampton striker, and he'll be there. Like, I don't think he's like you said, United level player. Maybe Leicester, but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Leicester's going to be a very interesting debate as well, because I had a very interesting debate with someone yesterday about Leicester. Livramento as well. Now, obviously, everyone knows by now, I absolutely love Tariq Lamptey, but I cannot deny, what's his first name? Livramento. Livramento, he's very good. He is very, very good. Now, what is your thoughts? Do you think he's going to be challenging? Him and Lamptey will be challenging to get in that England squad in a few years' time, or do you think they're just going to miss out still?
I think he needs to move, to be honest. The same like we've seen with Ward-Prowse. He should have went to the Euros. He didn't go because he plays Southampton, in my opinion. He should have went. And I think Livramento and Lamptey will be in the exact same situation. They need to play for a top-8 club like an Everton. I know Everton aren't a top-8 club at the moment, but that standard of club, that level, and above, he needs to play for. Like you said, you love Tariq Lamptey, and I think he's a very good fullback. I don't think his height really matters. He's lightning quick, and he's a very good player. He really is. Livramento, I mean, he has a Champions League medal. No one talks about that. He's part of the Champions League, Chelsea squad that won the Champions League. So he's like, he has.
I didn't know that.
Did you not know that? Yeah.
I didn't know he was part of the squad.
Yeah, he was part of the squad.
And I know is he on loan from Chelsea? Am I right?
I think they sold him.
They sold him. That's a bad decision. I know Reece James is very good. Obviously, I think Reece James is one of the best right backs in the world, personally. Just below the Scouser. I'm not going to say it. I can't praise rivals. But honestly, I didn't know that. So he's got some experience of winning. I know, obviously, he wasn't a massive part of the squad or anything, but some experience of winning. So that's good. And I feel like he could go to maybe I don't know. I feel like Southampton is a very good fit, actually. I do rate Ralph Hasenhüttl. I do actually really rate him. One of the biggest reasons why I rate him is because it's going to sound stupid, but they've lost 9-0 twice, and I know that's on his watch. However, he's not left. Southampton have backed him in the sense of like we're not sacking you, because most managers would have been sacked after losing 9-0 once.
He's bounced back
9-0. Yeah, he was back twice and managed to sort of bring a happy dressing room back after losing 9-0. That is that shows signs of very good character and very good manager, in my opinion. And I also think they play a good style of play. And they've got the best out of the likes of Ward-Prowse, Livramento, even Shay Adams to a certain extent. So I do like Hasenhüttl. However, I would like to see Livramento move to a big club, even though I think Southampton is a good fit for him. Now, Liverpool 3, Norwich 1. Thought Norwich, I'm not sure whether you're watching the stream because I was watching Chelsea versus Palace and also keeping an eye on the Premier League scores. Thought Norwich were gonna beat Liverpool. I thought they were gonna do it, but they didn't. They're just too good, aren't they? They were just too good for them, wasn't they? And Alisson getting.
I think Liverpool, but yeah, I thought because Norwich are just such a funny team. They can come out with a result against a top team, and I thought Saturday was going to be the day they did it. I just Liverpool are just too good. I wish we had their mentality in terms of we concede, we bounce back. And I know we bounced back against Leeds after 2 horror goals, but we've seen a lot of examples recently, especially with United, that when we concede, we score first, then we concede. The second half,
we did have that last season. We had
did,
that
yeah, but it was the opposite.
Yeah,
where we were losing in the first half, we came back and won. With Liverpool, their mentality is so good because they still have the core players that won Champions League and the Premier League. Sadly, I think they're mentality monsters, all of them. So as soon as they leave or as soon as they lose, losing position, I always know in the back of my head they're going to come back. They're going to come back, and they did it so fast through Mane and Salah. Now Salah's goal I thought was horrific. I mean, I think the defender was terrible. Alisson's pass was pinpoint, but I thought the defender was really bad. And of course, Luis Diaz, who will come very good. He'll be a very good player for Liverpool. They're just relentless, Liverpool.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I do agree with you. There's not much more that can be said. Obviously, I wasn't so sure about Luis Diaz when they signed him, but he looks to be very promising. Now, the game that I watched, Chelsea versus Palace, it took to the last to the last few minutes for them to score. Chelsea with Ziyech, and only had a goal disallowed, and Palace took them right to the end. And this is what makes me think we're getting third. I just think Chelsea just aren't that good. I know the current European champions and current champions of the world too, but over a 38 game season, I'm not sure that they're that good. Honestly, I think they're not great. Elise though, absolutely, he had an absolute baller of a great game again. He's an absolute baller. He didn't directly contribute to a goal as Palace didn't score. However, he looked great. What is your thoughts on Elise?
Elise is brilliant. It's crazy how what's her name? Crystal Palace bought Eberechi Eze 1 year, and the next year from QPR, and the next year they bought another player very similar to him from Reading for a similar price, similar age, and that's good. Like, it's crazy because they have Wilfred. I thought Zaha was going at one stage, but he looks to be staying, and they have brilliant players up front. They have Zaha, Edwards, Benteke, who's still knocking goals in. I think Silvayu, Mateta. Then they have on the wings the likes of Olise, like you said, who's a brilliant player. Olise really is. Now I think I have a thing for left-footed players because I'm left-footed myself, and he's a beautiful left foot. And I know Eze, he's very similar to Eze, but they're considering how they bought 2 championship wingers at a young age and developed them into brilliant Premier League mid-table players. I think Elise will eventually go on to play for an Arsenal or something like that,
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Vieira is building something very special there. De Gea is best goalkeeper in the world right now. Fact, Livramento is so good. Better than I wouldn't say he's better than Lamptey. Both ballers. Yep, they are both ballers. Livramento is a different right back than Lamptey. If De Gea learns to catch and come off his line, then he would be the best goalkeeper in the world. Tino is class. What is your thoughts on Kilman? Apparently Chelsea want him. He's had an absolutely unbelievable season. I think he should get a call up, an England call up. Do you?
He's came out of nowhere, hasn't he? Like, yeah. I've seen him every now and again last season. He's like, he's 24. I remember looking at him and I think, he must be this young Wolves lad. Like, he's not,
he does look young.
Young. He does, doesn't he? And he's 25.
Because the reason why I sort of remember him last season, it's very random, this story. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of the show Waterloo Road. However, in the last series, there's a lad called Dale in Waterloo Road. And I could swear that Kilman is that same lad, the same actor. I could swear Kilman looks exactly like him. And that's how I remember Kilman. But he's been unbelievable this season. Wolves have been unbelievable this season. Bruno Lage is one of the most underrated managers in the league, in my opinion. He's been incredible. And in my opinion, he's shown the league and the world what Nuno Espirito Santo could have done and didn't do. I know they finished 7th, but he didn't do that. Sold him. Tino Livramento, Lamptey, and Kyle Walker-Peters. Lamptey, Livramento, Walker-Peters. What about you?
Very same.
Same. Okay. Ralph or Potter? Who would you say? I'm going to say Potter.
Potter, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I do apologise, by the way, if this stream runs well over an hour. But I apologise to you as well if you've not got enough time or anything like that.
That's fine, I'll say, yeah. But
Brozier is the real deal. I do like Brozier. Yeah, he's very direct. He's very good. Their mentality is so good. Chelsea are a very good cup team, but not a very good league team. I agree with that. Elise hasn't even started for Palace yet. Elise hasn't even started 10 games for Palace yet. I don't know if Vieira trusts him or not. He seems to prefer Ayew. I think Elise. I think he's been a bit stop-start in terms of injury and things like that and fitness. I think he'll be back. I think he might have had COVID as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think he'll start. He'll start many more games in like next season, for example. We'll just wait for Thomas to come back. But before we do, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, it's no problem. So onto a game where it's like we're living in an alternate universe. Burnley 3, Brighton 0. Wow. When did Burnley ever score 3 goals? Honestly, like it shocked me during stream. It shocks me now. How? But Wout Weghorst, he seems to be an absolutely incredible signing. I remember saying when Burnley bought Weghorst and they sold Wood to Newcastle hadn't strengthened with Wood, and Burnley have strengthened with Weghorst. So, in my opinion, I'm not sure Burnley will stay up, but in my opinion, Weghorst is a better sign than the Newcastle signing Wood. I think Burnley have got the better end of that deal and sort of thing. And everyone was gassing about Weghorst on my stream because a lot of people had him in the FPL. Who was in there?
Same, yeah.
You have him in your FPL, yeah. I don't really play it, to be honest. But Brighton, do you think they'll end up challenging for like Europa League or even Conference League, or do you think they're just going to drop off like they have started to?
Burnley or Newcastle?
Sorry, Brighton.
Oh, Brighton. Sorry. Brighton are a funny team because I really like Potter and I think he's the best English manager. You probably agree.
I do not agree with that, actually. I actually think Wayne Rooney is currently the best English manager in the world.
Fair enough.
And Potter is the second.
Yeah, actually, I'll change that. Yeah, Rooney's the best. Yeah, I love
it. Yeah.
But to be honest, with Brighton, I think Tariq Lamptey is a brilliant fullback. We both know that, and I agree with you. Yeah. He's such a good fullback. I think he's going to be one of the best in the world in the future. Give it a few years. I don't think he'll be there for too long because people realise Chelsea made a terrible mistake selling him. But
£2 million as well they sold him for.
Really? I thought it was more than that. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But I know Reece James is a brilliant fullback. But I'd argue Lamptey's better than him. But it's tough.
I wouldn't say that. I love.
I don't really. I think Reece James isn't that good. I think he's a good fullback. Don't get me wrong. He's a Chelsea. He will win stuff with Chelsea because he's good enough. I don't think I think he's not a weak point to Chelsea, but he's definitely he can improve on him. But that's just my opinion. But
okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah,
it is. I know. Yeah. With Brighton though, I think Bissouma. I know there's no one really wants to sign him, and I don't know if that's because of the I think he's got in trouble recently, isn't he? I think he's a jail.
Yeah. He's got some allegations towards him.
Yes,
we won't speak about the allegations.
No, of course not. No,
obviously, we hope the allegations aren't true. Obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He is a brilliant player, and I think he should be playing for an Arsenal or United. I think he's perfect for either of them to push into forward in the top four. He's a brilliant player. I think Neil Maupay, as much as I dislike him because he's just, I think I said in the last show, he's a shithouse of a full
I've actually started to. It's mad why I've started to like Maupay.
Really?
There's been there's a program on Sky Sports called Saturday Social, and they do they go and record with like different players and things like that, and they did one with Maupay and I think Dunk. And it really showed sort of character for me, and I sort of thought, I like him because of that, which is fair enough in my opinion. Obviously, I dislike him for his absolute shithousery, but I like him for that. But sorry for interrupting. Go on.
No, I agree with you completely. I think Maupay is one of them players that it's him against the world, and I think if you had him at your club, you would absolutely love him. But I always disliked him because of what he did last season, where he scored a penalty. He started doing the crying celebration. Yeah, and then he conceded. He handballed the penalty for people to score to win the game. So funny, but listen, he is quite underrated. I think he's a decent striker, and Brighton need a striker. I think if they had a striker, because as an Irish person, I can give you a lot of information on Aaron Connolly.
I like Connolly actually. A lot of people. I don't know why.
That's mad, yeah. He just runs. In my opinion, when he's played for Ireland, obviously he doesn't have a lot of creativity around with Ireland, but he just runs around the place. I don't think he actually does anything. He's not a good forward. He's missed a load of sitters. But I think if they had another striker on maybe better than Maupay, someone from Germany for not a lot of money, I think they could push for the Conference League place, because I thought they made it brilliant. They done brilliant business with selling Matt Ryan. I think they loaned him to Arsenal and sold him to Sociedad or something like that. And Rob Sanchez has been unbelievable. I really like him. He went to the Euros, I think, as the third choice keeper for Spain. And I know Ben White they sold for £50 million. It's good money for them as well. And they have Dunk. Dan Bourne they sold. I don't know why they sold him, to be honest. He's a player. These players are. But they have good players, Brian. And Potter is a brilliant manager. I think if they had that extra bit of quality, they could push for a Conference League place. But at the moment, they're a 9th place team,
Yeah, I agree with you there. On Potter, I'm not sure whether you've read this. However, when he was being interviewed for the Brighton job, it's very well. It's not very well documented. It's documented online that Potter also. It was almost like Potter was interviewing Brighton as well, saying, "Are you the right club for me?" So I feel like that would be perfect for Man United. Not accepting what the Glazers are saying and all this. It would be brilliant. It would be nice. Kane, the Red Horse Club was in full effect on your stream when he scored. I remember it was great. Thoughts on youth players like Hannibal, Hugo, and Fernandez and the likes. I think we've got some great youth players coming through. I think we should bed them in very slowly. I think the sports psychologist should also be working with youth players too, as well. Because we've seen Rashford sort of burn out and things like that. And we've seen some youth players do quite bad things, very bad things. Hopefully we can sort of work on no more youth players having that. And I think we should bed them in very slowly. I
agree,
It was a full-on Red Horse party. Cucurella is good too. Cucurella is very good. Yeah, I feel like I would argue he's better than Luke Shaw. I do love Luke Shaw, Alberto Carlos. Not last season. Last season, Luke Shaw was the best fullback in the world.
He was,
but he's obviously not had a great season. James is slightly overrated. I would absolutely disagree with that, to be honest. Ibrahim says, "Sup everyone." Sup Ibrahim, I've just seen your tweet, which I will mention when we come to speak about United. Ibrahim is an up-and-coming journalist. We've had him on twice before. He gets a lot of stuff right, and make sure to give him a follow on Twitter as well, Mo Ibrahim. and we will discuss, because we've already discussed about reports. So there's a new report, a very positive report that's just come out from Ibrahim over the past 20 minutes. I'm better than Reece. Reece is better, but Lamptey will be better. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Aston Villa
I think that's more.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that. Aston Villa 0, Watford 1. It's always great to see Steven Gerrard losing. However, honestly, Emmanuel Dennis, they bought him for, what was it, I think £6 million.
Yeah.
Wow. He's got 17 goal contributions this season, direct goal contributions. Yeah, 17 direct goal contributions. He's brilliant. And Ismail Assar, obviously, another one of their star players, he got the assist. Now, I still think it's almost guaranteed for them to go down. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they sacked Ranieri, who I think he's just finished in terms of managing in Premier League. Roy Hodgson is a strange managerial appointment, because he hit the brick wall with Crystal Palace, and you've seen with Vieira, he made a few signings, got rid of a few older lads, and they're playing such expressive football. And you wonder then, was Roy Hodgson holding people like Zaha back and ruining a career for a few years? We don't know, but that's not for me to say, of course. But I think with Roy Hodgson coming in, I don't know. I don't think he'll keep them up, to be honest. Like you said, it's kind of inevitable that they go down. But they do have great players like Dennis, Ismail Assar, players who are right. They have They bought a lot of lads from Ligue 1 in the French league, like Kalou. Who's the left back?
The left back, Kamara, yeah.
They bought some very good Ligue 1 players, so maybe they can. I don't know. I don't think they will, but sure.
No, yeah, I agree with you. Maybe they can, but I don't think they will. On to Arsenal 2, Brentford 1. We've just spoken about before, and we're going to speak about him again. Emile Smith-Rowe, wow, and Bukayo Saka. Again, I've been speaking about the England national team a lot, and players who can be in and around the England national team. Not on YouTube specifically, but I think people will have seen me mention it quite a lot more. I've been speaking about it with one of my friends, and she's saying Smith-Rowe and Saka should definitely be in the squad. I can't wait for the World Cup, honestly. People are going to be... it's going to be unbearable leading up to the World Cup with us winning the World Cup predictions. But honestly, I think they will end up in the future, if Arsenal get it right, which I think Arteta has got a lot of decisions right over the past... he may not be the best manager, but he's got a lot of decisions right. If Arsenal manage the club right and build a team properly, I think they can lead Arsenal, both of them, to winning like the Champions League or European Cup or whatever you want to call it. Maybe the league as well. Do you agree with that?
I think Arsenal have a lot of similarities to Manchester United. A ridiculous amount. They're both owned by greedy American owners who don't care about the club and care more about their American football teams. I think with Arsenal, they have a brilliant core of youth players. With Saka and Smith-Rowe, they've made very sensible signings. I've slagged off their signings, the summer signings, a lot. With Ben White, I think they spent most of the money in the summer, which is hilarious, because I looked at the players at the time and said they're not good quality. But people like Ben White have come good. Gabriel, Thomas Partey hasn't really, but I still rate him. I think he's a good player. If they bought Dusan Vlahovic in January, I would have been very worried about top 4. But of course, he went to Juventus instead, which I'm happy about. I think Arsenal are making very good signings, and they have a good director of football. Is Edu? I think it's Edu still there.
Yeah, he is still there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's clearly showing behind the scenes. He's a fantastic technical director, and he's signing good players for decent prices. People like Sambi Lokonga. He's a brilliant player, I think. He would come very good. He gives me Yaya Toure vibes, and I've used a lot of vibes, but yeah, that's the only way I can really compare him.
No, yeah, I can see what you mean, yeah.
Like he's tall, lanky, like dominant midfielder, you know.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think Arsenal, I don't think they'll win anything similar to us bar an FA Cup, because they love that. I don't think they'll win a top tournament like Premier League or Champions League until their owners leave. Very similar to us.
No, I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. West Ham 1, Newcastle 1, which was a good result for us, actually.
It was.
In the sense of obviously West Ham are current contenders for top 4, and they've been great this season. However, hopefully they started to drop off so we can get top 4. Do you think they will drop off? I think you mentioned it before that you think they will.
Yeah. I remember we discussed the West Ham fans wanted David Moyes gone, and we laughed it off because it's just ridiculous. To say.
Yeah, it was mental.
It was, and I think West Ham are at the level now where they plateaued. I don't like. That's why I think people like Declan Rice will leave. Their big players, Jared Bowen, will leave because they're not getting any higher than 5th, and they never will. And they, like you said, like I said earlier, they will. I think they will fall off. And then they'll lose their players like Declan Rice. I think he'll go to either United or Chelsea, depending on which one he wants. Jared Bowen will probably go to Liverpool because he's the type of player, and they've wanted him for a while.
Yeah.
I think West Ham are just. They made good signings with Vlasic from CSKA Moscow and Kral. A lot. They've done good scouting and Kufal as well. Brilliant signings, but that's not going to get you 5th or further than 5th. Sorry. So I think they will fall off, and I think this is it now because if they sign someone like Jesse Lingard, that extra firepower in the summer. I know that wasn't down to them. We stopped it from happening.
Yeah.
We
had to sort of block it in January.
I get that,
because of circumstances. We did have to block it. And I feel like Lingard, even if it's in one game, will come in handy. And even arguably it already has done. It just in a few games, like the Villarreal game earlier on in the season.
The West Ham one as well.
Yeah, and the West Ham one, yeah. So I feel like he will come in handy, and obviously it's very understandable that we've had to block that transfer. We could have bought someone on deadline day, but it wouldn't have been worth it. So it just was what it was, and I assume Newcastle fans would have wanted, West Ham fans would have wanted him. So would Newcastle as well. Do you think Newcastle are going to stay up? I do.
Yeah, they will. I think the transfer spree they went in January. They bought Trippier. They don't particularly rate, but he's good. He's
out for the rest of the season as well.
Oh, is he? I knew he'd done his metatarsal, but I didn't know if he was out for the whole thing.
I didn't know he did his metatarsal until I found out from a driving instructor, and then he seems to be out for the rest of the season.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That'd be a big blow for them now because I think their other right back is Kraft and Manquillo, which are not good enough,
Yeah.
But they did buy good players. Like Chris Wood, I know you said you won't improve them, but I think he gives them something different. Like I think Callum Wilson is still the better striker, but Chris Wood gives you that aerial threat that relegation battle team needs. I'm trying to think who else they signed. They signed Dan Bourne as well. They signed some decent players in January, but I think it's enough for them to stay up because I don't think Bourne will stay up with just Weghorst and Cornet, and that's it.
I agree with that. We'll go on to Manchester United 4, Leeds 2. Now, we were discussing it before, and I did say to Ibrahim that I'd mention his report. This is 53 minutes past 4, and it's now 12 minutes past 5. So this is from today. Fresh report from a journalist. There was no fight or argument in the Manchester United dressing room regarding captaincy. The dressing room is together.
Okay.
That is very, for me, I believe sort of Mo's reports. I would say I'm very close friends with Mo, and this is Mo Ibrahim who's in the chat before, and I've watched him sort of rising up, and he's doing very well with his journalism, and he's getting a lot of reports right. So I would believe this personally. What is your thoughts on that?
If it's true, I'd argue it's a bad thing. And I know you said you wanted fights in the dressing room. And I so do I. It shows a competitive nature, and to be a footballer, to pull on the Manchester United shirt, you need to be good enough, and you need to be on top of your game, giving 110% every single game. That's why I respect the likes of Scott McTominay, because he gives his all every game, no matter if he's injured or not. If he's on a yellow, he'll do what's needed. I think I'm a bit disappointed if that's true, because I don't want Harry Maguire as a captain, and I never rated him as captain. Even the day we gave it to him, I think we only had him for 6 months at the club, and we gave a captaincy to him. And I thought that's not right, because he hasn't proved himself as a United player yet. And I thought that was very just immature kind of decision making to do. Like, but I really hope there was an argument and there was like an agreement between Ralph, Ronaldo, and Maguire, because I think Ronaldo should be the captain. He's captained Portugal to the Euros, and even when he got injured, he was the manager. Like, he's just he is a brilliant. His leadership skills are just exceed anything else in that.
I'm not sure about Ronaldo being captain.
Okay.
Because, and I know people like say, "Oh, you've got to have standards and things like this," but Ronaldo will hold himself to his own. Will hold everyone else to his own standards, and I believe that that's unfair. Ronaldo's levels and standards are unprecedented. He worked so hard. His performances may not have been great of late, but we cannot fault his work ethic. We cannot fault everything. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. His work ethic, his leadership. But I feel like he'll demand way too much, if that makes sense. Also, I believe it's not a good thing to change captain mid-season. We've already changed manager mid-season, and I feel like it's gone as well as could have gone. However, it's still quite a traumatic thing in football terms for a club to go through, isn't it? Especially changing a manager who's a club legend and things like that. It is. And I believe that just right now we need unity until the end of the season at least. And then we can the team can make an agreement, manager can make an agreement, new manager, whatever. That's who the captain should be. Whether that is Harry Maguire after next season, and we'll have to back that, or whether that's Cristiano Ronaldo, or whether that's a new player that comes in, or Raphael Varane, even McTominay. I believe that just until the end of the season, let's back Harry Maguire as captain, in my opinion. And I'll just keep going with it until the end of the season. I believe that we just need to get through rather than sort of having too many arguments. Like I say, having arguments is a normal thing. I'm not saying it's a particularly great thing, but having arguments is a normal thing. What's your thoughts? Do you believe that? Do you disagree, or do you think we just need to get through to the end of the season?
I understand your point of view. I think it could be detrimental changing a captain halfway through the season. And I think the dressing room, contrary to reports, I think the dressing room, I think there's divides. There's definitely an English clique and a foreign clique. I think that's definitely a thing, and I think every club has that. So Chelsea have the player power at Chelsea is unprecedented.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
They can sack a manager like that. Like they can do what they want. The player power is enormous, and I think as well as that, the captaincy situation, I do understand that it could be bad for us to change captain, but I think the sooner the better. The better for these players to understand who the real leader is. And know apparently a lot of them, from reports, have grown on Ronaldo as the leader, because Maguire isn't.
Yeah.
But I think if we actually gave Rangnick a 3-year contract as a manager, I think he would have made a different captain by this stage, because he has the authority to do it, and he's only an interim at the moment, so he can't really make big decisions like making a new captain when we're going to get a new manager in a few months' time. So I do understand him not making massive changes yet, but I still think that the sooner a new captain, the better.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Now, on to the actual game. Now, I think we showed. I'm gonna say it, I think we were great for 80 minutes. We had that 1 minute, obviously we conceded 2 goals, and it was like, oh my god, what this is Manchester United this season all over. It just absolute shit show. But I thought we were very good for 80 minutes. I would argue it's one of our best games of the season. And Gary Neville, I don't know how many times he repeated himself. It reminds me of the 70s. It reminds me of the 80s. It reminds me of the 90s. An old school game with mental conditions. Because I'd actually mentioned it to my uncle, saying if we had them same conditions, if Man United were playing, if Man United were an English team, just hypothetically, and we were Spanish team, for example, or anywhere else, I would argue that game may have been called off because of the conditions. We've seen a few games just not in the Premier League this week, but lower leagues be called off due to just mental conditions. The storm's obviously been quite crazy. So I feel like it was a very good game considering the conditions. I feel like we played very well. We showed a huge fight. Jadon Sancho shining, absolute like he's arrived, and I'm almost overwhelmed with how good he is. If that makes sense, I'm almost like wow, like shocked, like not shocked, but starstruck. I'm not sure how to explain it. With how good he is, so I believe that he's absolutely incredible. Maguire, I believe that was a captain's performance. I really do. I believe that the Brighton game was a captain's performance too. I believe he was just faultless. Obviously, the two goals we conceded, I can't really fault Maguire for them. I can fault De Gea for the first one, and then the second one was like lack of concentration for the whole defense, including Maguire. So he lost concentration for a minute or so. Fred again showing levels, past the Fred, one of the best midfielders in the league. But what's your thoughts on the game?
It's a tough one because when we play Leeds, I just ignore any positives and any negatives because it's Leeds. They're a one-off game, in my opinion. They play very open. We've battered them 6-2, 5-1 to start the season, 4-2 yesterday, and we've played average the next game. So I don't put any weight on it. But of course, you have to take into account people like Jadon Sancho's performance. Lindelof, I thought, was sensational as well.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka was underrated. People, I understand people don't like Wan-Bissaka because Delo is clearly the better fullback, but he played well.
He played very well.
I think he did, yeah. And although McTominay was a bit of a passionate merchant, as you say, I don't think he was that good. But of course, in a game like Leeds,
you've got to get stuck in a game like that, and you've got to show heart and grit and determination, and
he's playing
and sometimes that's what it's all about. Sometimes.
No, you're right. Yeah. I think if McTominay played in the 70s and 80s, he'd be a brilliant player. You know, I think like he's physical, and he's like I don't know how he didn't get sent off yesterday. To be honest, but I love that because we got so many tells.
Yeah, we were allowed a lot of. I know we got booked, but we got let off quite a lot of times.
Yeah, we did that. Thing is, with McTominay, that game he always plays well in. He always has. He gets a goal and assist, like borderline every game against Leeds.
Yeah,
but I think the best players were Sancho and Lindelof, of course. But I thought, I think someone needs. I'm not saying a lot of people talk about how good Alanga was. It was more just the antics he got up to after the game, where he's pointing at his badge and stuff, which I loved. That, like again, he understands the club is about, like McTominay. But I thought he was low key really good. Now he missed a chance on his left foot earlier on, and I was very angry about that. But Bruno put a brilliant chance from on the play, and he relished it, and he went off shushing the Leeds fans, which I thought was brilliant as well.
I loved it.
But he was very good, and I think I'd argue he's definitely in more of a contention than Rashford to start games, because Rashford's been, I understand he's been off a lot of games this season and last season, but I think Alanga, I think I wouldn't say Rashford's greedy, but I think he has a very big urge to shoot when he gets the ball and gets in a good position, which he shouldn't do sometimes. Where I think Alanga does actually pass the ball more often.
I completely agree. I couldn't agree more. When I'm watching the United games, what I say is, and I say it during a lot of games, but I get, obviously, I'm more passionate about it when it's United, and it's got to be calculated. You can't just shoot for the sake of shooting.
Yeah.
And even passes, when you're just doing just stupid passes like Bruno Fernandes, sometimes it's got to be calculated. It's got to be, I wouldn't say low risk, but what I would say is it's got to be well thought out, and sort of where you look and say that's intelligent. Pogba did it so many times yesterday, and you go, Jesus, like what a player Paul Pogba is. And I was sort of like there, like, we can't let this guy go. That's what I was saying at the time. and sometimes you've got to be calculated. And Elanga at 19 years old is he doing that already? Unbelievable. Like he's going to be something special. I think I tweeted a few weeks ago the trajectory for Anthony Elanga is scary, and I think it really is. I think he's going to be an unbelievable player, one of the best in the league in many years to come. This will probably bite me on the arse like it's back like when Adam McCullough said Tyler Blackett will be one of the best fullbacks in the world. That'll bite it. That bit on him on the arse. That'll bite me on the arse, won't it? Fernandez is brilliant. KG says Watford did the double versus Aston Villa this season. Let that sink in. Against Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa as well. Love it. Got to go, be back, try and make a 7 stream. Appreciate that. West Ham have lost something since that Man United result, but West Ham are quality, don't get me wrong, just my opinion. Possibly, yeah. Obviously, it was a last-minute winner and it could have knocked the confidence. Dan Burn, Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah. He's not started the game yet, has he? I don't think. I'm back to what's happened. We've just been discussing the results and news that there has been no arguments in the United dressing room, which we will be discussing at 7 p.m. Sancho, he was class. He was world class, wasn't he? He was unbelievable. Bruno was insane. I thought he was insane too, yeah. If we can perform like that every game, we're winning the Champions League. But we're winning the Champions League anyway. Whether that's with individual brilliance, whether that's... We're going to win the Champions League.
We are, yeah.
That cross was something else, but De Gea could have done so much better with it. Yeah, it was mental. Obviously, there was the wind was crazy.
Yeah,
it was like absolutely crazy. Shaw wasn't that good, to be honest. Was also at fault for the second goal. Yeah, I feel like Shaw is a little bit lazy sometimes. Yeah, he's definitely lazy. People hate on Bruno so much, but he delivers the most in our team. Yeah, I was one that has been. I've been a big doubter of Bruno Fernandes this season, but he's proven me and has proved me wrong many, many times. So massive thank you to Bruno Fernandes if you're watching this. Lindelof was very good. I thought most of our team were very good. I'm going to be honest. Elanga is going to be a very good squad player. I don't think. What's your thoughts on that?
I think he's better than that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he has the attributes to be a good squad player. He gives me a lot of he reminds me a lot of Rashford under Van Gaal in 2016. Yeah. The way there was better players than him, like touted better players, and he just got his chance and he took it. Now, I'm not saying Elanga is not as talented as like Hannibal and Joe Hugel and people like this, Short-Theory, but I think Elanga is he has that mentality to play for us, and because I've seen it, he's played a lot of games already this season under Ralph Rangnick, and he understands, like he shows the passion, like he's actually quite good as well. He's popped up with a lot of goals this season already, but like that's what I mean by the Rashford effect. Rashford played against Midtjylland, I think, in the Europa League. Will Keane, if you remember him.
I do. I remember Will Keane.
Play.
Michael Keane.
James Wilson.
James Wilson, I remember. I thought James Wilson was going to be something special.
Really?
I really love James Wilson. Tom Lawrence as well. I thought he was going to be something special. The player who scored against Wigan, what's his name? I can't remember. Harrop.
Harrop. Josh Harrop.
I thought he was going to be something special as well. We're reminiscing. Hopefully he turns out to be something special, Elanga.
Yeah, I really do hope, because like I said, Rashford got that chance. He played against Arsenal and he scored twice. That was unbelievable that day. And he's just been kicking on ever since. And I think Elanga is going to do that. I think he's going to kick on and be a very important player for us.
I agree with that. Yes, he used to trust Elanga more than Marcus. Yeah. Marcus has had an off season, and fair enough. Obviously, I can only stick up for Marcus a certain amount, and I've got to be realistic. Yeah, it's true. Marcus will never be good enough for right wing, and Sancho looking like our best left wing. I'm concerned for Marcus. The stats actually show. I'm not sure if you've seen this either. There's a lady called Maram who now works for The Athletic. She did a video on Stretford Paddock. I know she's been roasted by Twitter over the past few weeks about De Gea opinions, but she did a video on Stretford Paddock, and she's like a stats expert, and she was showing that Sancho on the left wing is better than on the right wing if you're looking for more goals and assist output. And Marcus on the right wing is actually better than he is on the left wing if you're looking for more goals and assist output, which maybe on the eye that doesn't look good. Marcus has definitely not had a great season. Let's not like kid ourselves. He's not. But I think Marcus will kick on. I really do. I think he'll get better and better and better. I know he's 24, but still a young man, isn't he? And then he's been injured as well. I watched him longer in the youth, and he was insane. Although he isn't the best talent in our academy, he does seem to settle into men's football easier than that.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely. You're still doing the Brighton versus Villa watch on because you removed it. I actually forgot at the time that Man United are playing at the same time, and they're at home, so it's literally impossible for me to do that. I do apologise. Next watch along is tomorrow, though. Chelsea versus Lille. McTominay score a winner in the UCL final scenes. That would be amazing. Would you say he'd become a Man United legend if he did that?
Yeah. Because people
have
said Ollie wasn't as good as people say because he didn't start and he doesn't have all the scoring records. But I mean, Ollie scored that important goal against Bayern.
Oh yeah,
2-1 in Barcelona.
He did get like 300 or 400 goals for us as well. Solskjaer.
Did he?
I
thought he got about 150.
Sorry, was it 100? 300. I think I'm talking about Rooney there. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'll get the stats up here.
Go on there.
just to be exact. He played for Man United 235 times and scored 91 goals. So I was completely off the mark. But even if McTominay scored a winner in the Champions League final, to me, that will make him an absolute legend.
Yeah.
A Man United legend.
I mean, Wes Brown could have scored the tap in. John O'Shea could have done it. You know, anyone, and they would have been a legend.
Wes Brown put the best ball that anyone's ever seen on Ronaldo's head in the 08 final. Like, Wes Brown is a Man United legend.
I know Wes Brown.
So do I. Love the confidence, but we ain't getting past that. Athletic. Have positivity. We'll beat it 3-1. Adnan Januzaj. Oh, he is champions as well. Harry Maguire. To be honest, I want good performances from Rashford now more than goals and assists. Hopefully, he can push on. Thought Wilson was going to be class, didn't Harrop score versus Palace? I think he scored versus Wigan as well. I might be wrong in that. We're beating Atletico 2-0. United to lose 1-0, both legs, sadly. No, that's not happening. We're going to the last game, though. I do apologise how much this has ran over. Wolves 2, Leicester 1. Now, Leicester. What is the issue with Leicester, and how can they change this? Because they've dropped so much.
Leicester is a funny team because they should be competing for top 6 every single year. They have the quality to do it. I think Rodgers is good enough to be a top 6 manager. He won't be winning Premier Leagues or no Champions Leagues, I don't think, but he's good enough for Leicester's level. He's perfect. They didn't sell anyone of note, did they, in summer?
No. No, I think. Well, obviously, Fofana got injured, but they didn't sell anyone. Tielemans hasn't played as much as they'd have hoped him to play, and he hasn't signed contracts as well.
To be honest, I was going to say that.
And Vardy's been injured as well.
I think Leicester have always been that team where if they get 1 or 2 injuries, they'll fall off.
Yeah,
but I thought they strengthened in depth, squad depth, recently enough, like past year or two. Like, I really like James Maddison, and I thought he was going to be a Man United attacking midfielder, but I think that's his level now. I don't think he's 25 now, I think.
No, I was thinking the same thing yesterday. I completely agree with you. Yeah. I didn't say it because I normally say what I'm thinking in case you haven't noticed. But I didn't say it, but I was thinking, he doesn't seem to be hitting the levels that we thought he would hit. Similar to Grealish in a sense.
Same Wilfred Ndidi. Like, I thought he was going to be a Champions League winning defensive midfielder. I don't think that it could still happen, but I don't think
he's just not that level.
No, he's not that level. And I think we've realised a lot of Arsenal players or Leicester players. Sorry, I think the only player that's rated like underrated at Leicester is Harvey Barnes. The rest of them,
I think Schmeichel is very underrated.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But he's 34, 5, isn't he?
Like,
He will eventually end up, you know. James Justin's good. Luke Thomas is good. I like Leicester's squad. I like everything about
look at the squad. They've got a good squad, like on paper.
They do, yeah.
It just doesn't work this season. It's not worked this season at all.
I don't understand it, yeah. But like, that guy was a brilliant signing. I thought he was going to tear it up. And Belfast Brendan, as we call him here, he has bottled that, and he's bottled it for Liverpool. That's why he's not the Liverpool manager anymore. He bottled the Premier League.
Yeah,
and Jared slipped. My favorite day of ever that day. But he's won an FA Cup at Leicester. Like he's won more than us in the past 4 years.
They have done well. Obviously, they have done well. And one thing we can't fault Leicester for is the owners and say, "Oh, it's the owner's fault." And things like that. The owner has took on the reins from his dad, who obviously sadly passed away in that tragic accident, and he's done very well. And he does love the club, and we've seen that he loves the club with his celebrations after winning the FA Cup. So, if I had to back them to return, I would sort of back them to return into maybe a Europa League race, in consistent years rather than top 4 race. Is that what you would say? Yeah,
I completely agree with that. I think the thing is, with Leicester, I believe they have the money, like in the way that Everton and Aston Villa do. Like their owners are obviously every owner in the Premier League are rich, but I mean, I think Leicester have the funds to push for consistent Champions League football. I just don't think they'll kick on. And like you said, they'll just be a Europa League side and keep rebuilding the players they sell.
Wolves now. Bruno Lage is very underrated. I will have to sort of rush this as my tea is now ready. I've just had a text message saying that. And I will be live at 7 as well. So I do need to hurry up. But Wolves, do you think they're going to get top 4?
No, they won't. They don't have enough quality. They're not consistent enough. I don't think they'll do it.
I don't think they will do it. Now, massive thank you to you for coming on, Thomas, and massive thank you for how much it's ran over, and you've been very patient, and you've been a great guest yet again.
Thank you so much.
No, it's no problem. We'll get you on at any time. You're always welcome on. So thank you guys for tuning in as well. I am live in 1 hour and 35 minutes. I'll be live with Gavin, and I'll be live with Kane too. And that should be a blast again. And I'll be live tomorrow too, which I'll speak about on the next stream. Massive thank you to you guys for tuning in, and we'll